Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and today we're going to look at Torabhaig, something like that. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. Oddly enough, I'm not up to snuff on my Gaelic. Also, little squirrel moment here. You know, I've said it before in the past, and bourbon companies, you guys need to up your game drastically, right? So every single scotch, the cheapest McClellan's not crappy. McClellan's is actually really, really good. One of my favorites. If you watch the channel, you know that. But I mean, like the cheapest scotch, with the exception of like the under $10 blended scotch, is coming in a nice box, well packaged. Right now, just for record, I have exactly 2 bourbons out of 80, and throw the rye in there, so probably 100 whiskeys. I have exactly 2 bourbons that are in nice packaging. One being the Colonel E.H. Taylor that I just reviewed. Way to step it up, Buffalo Trace. Really nice. But that's still from a $37, $38 bottle. And the other one that I have is a Maker's Mark 101. So there you go. Maker's Mark 101 being the other bourbon that I have in a package. So, you know, just for the record, let's step it up a little bit. Okay, rant over. Let's get a price on this, and then I want to read a couple things off of this particular whiskey. So, this is the Torabhaig Legacy Series Allt Gleann or Glenn or Gleann. Man, let's just face it, I'm gonna slaughter all the names that are on here, and I believe not only is it written in English up here, but I do believe it's written in Gaelic down below. But I paid $65 for this bottle, and I got it from Blackwell's Wines and Spirits, San Francisco, California. This is part of the I think it was 6 bottles of whiskey that I ordered from them. Was able to cross a couple of cool things off my hit list. So $65, not a bad price. I don't believe, considering that's probably the only way that I'm ever going to find something like this, because I have not seen something like this at all. So this Torabhaig is also on the Isle of Skye. So this is probably the other distillery that you may or may not have heard of on the Isle of Skye. Let's see here. So this was, so it's a fairly young whiskey. It is drawn from small batches of no more than 30 barrels distilled and cast in 2017 and 2018. It's still a fairly young distillery. But the thing I want to read from this is they're very transparent on the back here. So this is the second release that they have done. And I just want to put it out here. It says, heavily peated single malt whiskey made with a mix of concerto, and however you want to pronounce it, and laureate malted barley at 77 ppm. That's parts peat per million kind of a thing. Fermented with Pinnacle MG Plus and Sapphire M-1 yeasts, and aged in a mix of first fill bourbon barrels and refill whiskey barrels, bottled at 46% ABV or 92 proof, at 17 ppm residual, with non-chill filtering, or it says with no chill filtration or coloring. So there you go. Talk about being extremely clear with what you are doing with a product. Big fan of transparency when it comes to what's in the bottle. So pretty cool. I like, you know, if you've watched this channel, you know I'm kind of a dork. I'm definitely a whiskey dork, but I'm a data dork on top of that. I just like knowing data points with whatever it is I'm involved in. That's one of the main reasons why I like reloading and tweaking things and playing with things and getting, I don't know, I just like stuff. So for a data junkie like myself, the more the merrier. And to be honest with you, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be putting all of that great information on any bottle, because it just can help you. The only hindrance is with the surge of bourbon and whiskey in general in the last, I don't know, 5 to 7 years. Um, when with new people coming in, a lot of the fallacies of the whiskey world have come in spades. Things like, it has to be a certain age before it's good, or only age-stated whiskeys are good, or only single malt are good, but blended malts are bad, or there's just so many different tropes. And I think they're all a bunch of crap, because there's not a single category, not a single statement out there that is always 100% true when it comes to whiskey, other than this will be the only statement you'll ever hear. There is a good whiskey at every point somewhere out there. There is a good new make to a good 30-year-old whiskey out there somewhere, in all and everywhere in between. And so, you know what? This is pretty young in color. It's not, what is it, 2018? I don't know when the release was. That is interesting. They had a bottling date in here, I would be really impressed. I'm sure if I went and looked, I could find when this was released, because it says it's the second release. But if it's filled in 2017, 2018, well, it's 2022. So at the oldest, it could be 4 years. But in order to be Scotch, it has to be at least 3 years. So there you go. Somewhere between 3 and 4 year old whiskey. It's pretty young. And to be honest with you, at the very back end of the nose, you can smell that youngness and just the slightest of a slight sour note. It's not a bad note. It's not off-putting. It's just, you can, if you've ever smelled new make, you can pick out that small little bit of youngness in it. But you know what? If it tastes good, who cares, right? So on the nose, there's a soft caramel and a soft butterscotch and a nice soft wafting of peat smoke in there. I almost get a little bit of like spearmint. Everything's really light in the nose. Nothing's hefty. There's nothing bad in it. So let's jump into this. Now, I will say, so again, it's young and $65. So this is something like the price point versus what you're getting. You know what? As a newer distillery, what are you gonna do, right? If you don't have it, you don't have it, so you can't put it out there. But $65. That's right where like your Ardbeg 10. We just did the Talisker 10. Um, I think I picked up a bottle of Lagavulin 16 once for $62 or $66. So that's all in that price point. But every distillery's got to start somewhere, right? So let's get in on the taste. Okay. Excellent, excellent flavor. It has a youngness to it in the respects that the depth of flavor, the heftiness, the density, that's the word I want. The density of the flavor is pretty light. But the flavor quality, the flavor profile is very solid. This is one of those things that you're like, man, I would love to see what this tastes like in another 5 to 10 years. But it is light and sweet. Caramel. I guess you could call it butterscotch, but a really nice earthy, peaty smoke from start to finish. The finish of the lingering finish is that earthy, peaty smoke. The smoke comes out fairly heavily, but not dominating, not overtaking all the other subtleties that are in the flavor profile. It's extremely well balanced, in my opinion. And like I said, the youngness of the whiskey is not in the notes that you're tasting, but in the density of the notes. Like they're just not hefty, but the mouthfeel kind of has this light, um, rounded, slightly oily characteristic to it, creamy almost. It's really, really nice. Big fan. Nose profile hasn't changed at all. Oh, it's just all nice and sweet up front. Butterscotch caramel goes into a slight mid palate vanilla and honey. That smoke, it's kind of like that Talisker 10 where that smoke is kind of just riding over the whole profile and you get all these nice sweet notes, or maybe it's underneath of it, right? So like all the sweet notes are kind of dominating and there's just this through note of this smoke that's going from start to finish, and then after the lasting aftertaste after even right now, the lasting aftertaste is a nice peaty smoke, kind of a little bit of a coffee, um, lingering coffee, dark chocolate, um, even right now. And then, like, just that time, you get like little hints of sweetness still kind of tucking in there. I mean, it is a really, really nice whiskey. Um, yeah, I was kind of griping about $65 for young whiskey, but does it really matter if it's good? How old it is? No, it doesn't. Good whiskey's good whiskey, and good whiskey is worth paying for. So, big fan of this. Big fan. The curiosity, though, I might take some of this and put it on oak myself. Just because I'm curious. I bet you. Ooh, I got some oak chips that I had in some rum. I bet that would come out pretty awesome. I also have some maple. That'd be interesting as well. But I mean, just good. There's no two ways about it. It's good, and the youngness is not there in any kind of sharpness, or like the flavor profile is actually really well and rounded. Um, there's no spikiness to it at all. The youngness is just like the notes are not like hefty. They're not really hitting you all that hard, but by golly, that's good. Yeah. Mm. Lots of good sweet notes balanced out by that nice peaty smokiness. Um, just the smallest hint of salty brine in that last sip there. Kind of mixed into, it's like that smoked sea salt, um, brininess there, that peatiness, and that dark chocolate, dark coffee note that's just lingering on my tongue well after I take a sip. I could see this being accented really, really well with a pipe or cigar of some sort. So I'm looking forward to trying that experiment out. This is excellent whiskey. If you can find it, go ahead and go out and get yourself some. If you can find the first release, I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about that. This second, I'm assuming, and again, we all know it, assuming that, you know, the thing about assuming, but that the first release is probably even a little bit younger than this, and it's probably mostly only 3-year-old whiskey. Because I would assume that they don't have it. Because in order to be Scotch, it has to be, in order to get out of the country, it has to be aged at least 3 years. So there's that minimum requirement there. So there's that. But man, that is just delicious. So keep your eyes out for further releases in the future as they start getting some age on products. I would be really interested in that. So go ahead and drop in the comments down below what you can find a bottle for in your area, whether it was first or second release, and also what your experience and thoughts are on that. I'd be really interested in hearing what you have to say about it. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of this. This stuff is excellent, worth the $65. And I don't even know if that, once again, like when I'm buying stuff online, I try and do the best I can. But maybe it's cheaper than that other places. I don't know. If you have a Total Wine and Spirits, that might be a spot to check out. Um, they tend to have better prices on whiskey and a huge selection of scotch. So if you are so fortunate as to have one of those anywhere near you, go check them out. See if you can find this Torabhaig. I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say on it. But anyways, thanks for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe on whatever platform you're watching this on. If you're watching this on YouTube, please go over and check out Life and Whiskey over on BitchUte and Rumble. I do know that I've only been getting it's been kind of pathetic. I've only been getting like four, what is this? This is November 12th, 2020, and the videos that are being released right now, I'm somewhere in the 150s, I think, on YouTube. This video is like in the upper 200, 240, 250, somewhere in that ballpark. So this video probably won't drop on YouTube until like golly 2024 sometime. The videos there are so far behind, but I'm only getting like 4, 7, 10, 11 views on stuff. So moving everything over, I'll still put all these videos on there, but way behind on video counts on YouTube, and then my Rumble account is drawing from my YouTube account. So those two are showing the same videos at the same time. But if you're on BitChute, you'll know I'm dropping videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and that video count is much higher. Right now, this morning, it's Saturday right now, so I just dropped a video this morning, and I think it was like video 228, something like that. So this video will probably come out early 2023, because I think I got enough videos to make it through Christmas. Probably, maybe not. This might come out during Christmas or somewhere around there. I don't know. Drop in the comments down below when this video actually drops. I don't know when it'll be. But anyways, check out those platforms as well. And I do have a Minds account, but I have really not done anything with that. Just because I found it really clunky and a pain in the butt to try and upload and whatever else. That is the one negative that I have with BitChute, is that because I'm not a paying member, I can't schedule my release dates. I just have to upload all of them and then turn the videos on as on Wednesday or Saturday. So if I miss a video, it's because I'm either out hunting or on vacation or just flat out unable to upload or turn that video on that day while I'm doing stuff. So every now and again I miss some videos, but typically it is Wednesdays and Saturdays. So throw some comments in there. Let me know what's going on. Share these videos with anybody who you think would appreciate a good review on the variety of whiskeys that I have. Some of my videos suck. Sometimes the audio or the video quality sucks. I'm no AV person, that is for sure, but I'm doing my best. And oftentimes the video is fine on my end, but when I upload it, that's when I have problems. For some reason, the uploads themselves on the different platforms give me grief. So, all part of the fun of trying to do a channel. But hey, I'm not making any money on this. I'm not doing anything on it. I'm here to provide some value for you guys, hopefully, to help you spend your money wisely as you get into the world of whiskey. And hopefully, your palate lines up with mine and you can appreciate the same things that I find in the whiskey. So, throw some comments down below, share these videos, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Have yourselves a great day.